Tyler, first things first, I look at the stats and I see 7 receptions, 108 yards, and 5 touchdowns by the tight end group, and they got 6 total so far this year with the wide receivers, tight ends, and fullbacks. So what has it been about that group that's made the most opportunities for them when they've been able to, have their number called?
Yeah, I think you can do so many different things with that position group on the field as far as, if you have 3 tight ends on the field, you're going to run the ball, you're going to throw the ball. If you've got 2 tight ends and a fullback, and just the different things you can do with the play action, run action, and mismatches that you can create with bigger bodies against maybe a smaller linebacker or maybe a nickel DB. So it's just trying to find ways to get mismatches, and then bigger body guys who have big catch radius, so it's, higher percentage to catch the ball. But, aside from that note, our receivers have done a really good job of catching the ball as well. And then you throw our fullback in there with a couple other catches, Garrett Malmstrom, who caught his 2 first career catches on Saturday. So that's really exciting to see. It's just exciting for those guys to see them make plays when the ball is thrown their way too.
When we talk about the tight end group, you can go down and look at, the weight and the class, but you look at the year and there's only one guy that's a junior or a senior, and that's, Ben Ellefson from Hawley. So how have he's been able to bring the Babbages and the Gindorfs and everyone else that's in that room together, maybe to kind of say, hey, these guys have got talent, but also how has he been able to kind of mentor them, so to speak, so far, Tyler?
Yeah, I think it's a way we do things in that position group. We're going to be the most physical group in the nation. That's our number one goal every single week from a position group standpoint. And then, the leadership that Ben brings is, from a captain. And I remember telling Ben as a freshman, someday you are going to be a captain, just because the way he carried himself, real humble, cares a lot. He's a dedicated Bison. So for those guys, to see him grow up for me, and then for them to watch him every single day in the film room, and then he'll give them, a little bit of tips and reminders each and every play that they're in on. Maybe I didn't see something, and he does a really good job. I could see Ben being a coach someday. I don't know if he sees that right now, but he's doing a really good job, and those guys are really feeding off the positive energy that he has in the meeting room too.
So where did the nickname for the tight ends crew chiefs come from? I know Coach, Matt Ant said about it, hey, Trey Lance must have had something with the crew chiefs back at Target Field. So where did that moniker, or where did that nickname come from, and why is it maybe stuck for this year's 2019 unit, Tyler?
Yeah. The great Tim Polasek had that when he was coaching the position group. And, the biggest thing is whatever we're asked to do, we're going to do. Whether it's to clean up the meeting rooms after practice, maybe it's to take out the trash, to clean the fields after practice, to go run and block the C gap, the D gap, the A gap. Whatever we're asked to do, we're going to do. And that's been our nickname, and we truly embody that. And we're going to do whatever's asked of us from a position group, and we're going to help out this team and the offense however we can.
Tyler Roehl with us. Tyler, let's go over the first 2 games. I know anytime you're a new offense coordinator, everyone's probably asking you as the summer went, like, hey, how are you going to handle a 3rd and 3 situation? How are you going to handle a 4th and 1? So my question to you is, after 2 games, have you seen almost any situation that you thought of that you're going to see as an offensive play caller? And how have you been able to kind of just learn and grow as the first 2 games have gone on with Butler and UND?
No, I truly think, over the course of the past 5 years, I've put myself in those shoes and have really tried to prepare myself for every single situation. A couple other situations that will come up that we've prepared a lot for, just like a 2-minute situation, end of half, end of game, hurry up mode. In our offense, we have the ability to do that at any time. And, maybe one of these games we're just going to get into a no-huddle mode. And, that's something we've continued to prepare for. But the biggest thing, is keeping Trey comfortable within the offense. Making sure we're calling things that he has a really good understanding of. And as we progress through the season, we'll continue to open up the playbook. So I think the overall message for the offense has been, we're going to run the ball and we're going to be real physical. But whatever play is called, we all need to execute, and execution and hard work has been the biggest factors to our success.
Now it's going to be the first true road game for you guys. Time zone maybe that you're not familiar with too much in terms of going way out east and kind of getting to the coast and playing a CAA team in Delaware. So what's the first true road contest message to this team? Because taking a bus trip to Target Field, now actually getting on a bird and flying halfway across the country, I guess. What's the message to the team? But also, how does Delaware provide a challenge that maybe you didn't see in the first 2 weeks, Tyler?
Yeah, the message is we get to go. It's not, hey, we have to go on a plane and have to go play somewhere else. We all get to. Should we get to practice today? It's just having the mentality of we get to practice, we get to get better. It's not a have to. And I truly think our team has bought into that. And the offense, especially, the practice last night was one of the most spirited practices that we had. The biggest thing is we will not be complacent. We will not be satisfied with where we're at. And the young kids need to continue to mature, and they are growing up before our eyes, and that's the most exciting thing for us as a coaching staff, and just seeing all these young kids go out there and make plays, and Zach Mathis along the sideline making a huge play early in the ball game when we already had just took a shot. And then it is a business trip. We need to go out there, we need to handle our business, and Delaware's a good football team. They're bigger up front. And excited for our matchups. They're gonna propose, a great opportunity to see how good we are. And they run their defense, and they run it really well. Their linebackers are in their fits, their safeties are in their fits, their corners do a good job in the coverage portion in the back end. And defensive line-wise, they're stout. They understand their gap. They're going to play into their technique and use their hands well and play with really good leverage.
Last thing for you to kind of bookend it with the tight ends. So we saw 3 tight ends out there on Saturday. Is this going to be something that you're going to look at personnel and groupings? And how much do you trust that you can put 3 tight ends out on the field and make sure that they're doing their job as we kind of saw on Saturday?
Yeah, we have a lot of flexibility within our offense, whether it's personnel and formation, and whether it's 3 tight ends or 4 tight ends. Have practiced some situations with 3 running backs and used that. And we've looked at 4 running backs, 5 running backs on the field, because I feel like we have the personnel where we could do that. Getting in 10 personnel and then having another tight end in there. There's so much flexibility within our offense, and just having the guys having an understanding of the overall schemes and concepts that we teach. The playbook really could be endless with personnel and formation, and then just our overall schemes.
Tyler, as always, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck against the Blue Hens on Saturday.
I appreciate it. Go Bison.